The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, TGIF, thank God it's Friday and we are at the end of the week coming up to our weekend. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're here with you for a whole full hour. And we meet together every Friday at this time. We get together with coffee and conversation, and we want you to join in the conversation with us. For all of you who have been around with us for all of these years, we thank you so much. You've been faithful enough to come back again and again and tell your family and friends all about the show. And we just keep thanking you each week about that. But for the people who may be here for the very first time, we want to say hello to you and let you know what the show is all about. Now, as the host of the show, I'm going to get things started right away by getting out a conversation piece going on. That's how we start this show. It doesn't have to be something that we have to linger on for the whole full hour, but it's something that will get us started. And you can join in at any time you want. You can see us right there. You can type in whatever you want to talk about. That's how we conversate. And I will see you right there on the big screen. I'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of ideas and of opinion. And of course, you have a lot of them. I have a lot of them. So what we want to do is combine all of those thoughts and ideas together and make good conversation out of it. And don't be shy about it. You can say anything you want. And if there's anything in particular that you would like to talk about, by all means, we can talk about it. And because if it's important to you, it's important to the rest of us. Now, when you come in, you'll see other people here. And of course, you will be able to conversate with them as well and make friends as well. We're live on two different platforms. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. Now, let me explain something. Right now, we're not on Facebook at the moment. We're trying to resolve the problem. For some reason, technology is not being kind to us in that department right now. But we're going to work on it. And for the people who normally watch us on Facebook, I hope they hang in there because we're going to try to solve that problem right away. But in the meantime, it's just Facebook and YouTube. And if you're on YouTube right now, please tell your family and friends about the show. Cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on. Now, for the people who are watching us or who hopefully will be watching us later as we get things started, they do a thing called tagging and they cut and paste the platform that they're on. So we're going to get things off and running. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Well, we don't have Instagram anymore, but for the rest of the platforms, we keep that disclaimer going so we know that we own up to everything that we talk about, okay, and all those other media and broadcast facilities. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started right away and lift up our cups and with our elements in it, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. It's iced coffee today. You see the frost on it? Nice and frosty and cold. That's delicious. That's delicious. We're going to have a little more of that a little later. And then we'll talk more about that later. Brian, I know, Brian is my co-host, by the way. He's here each week with us. He's going to be with us for the and he has the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And with the update he has, with all of that going on, I have for you those movies that we give you each week. Now we do that going on Turner Classic Movies, movies that you could watch over the weekend, because I like to throw my 2 cents in. Brian, I know maybe you were looking for, but we're not on Facebook at the moment. We have a technical problem on that side. We're trying to work with the problem right now. And you noticed that, right?
I haven't noticed it. I just tune into Zoom and of course, and
Yeah,
also with YouTube. So,
yeah,
but I don't know about the Facebook. I don't know. I'm gonna check that
yeah.
now. You
Yeah,
know,
we're working on that problem right now. I don't know what it is. It's always a technical problem, something. Hey, when it rains, it pours. When it
yes, it
rains.
does. Yes, it does.
Anyway,
Yeah.
how are you today on this Friday?
It's okay. It's a good morning. Trying to relax. Got up extra early. Just walking around, just taking in the good fresh air. It is 86 degrees. I just saw that we have a heat advisory coming up. Suppose the high is supposed to be around 96 today.
Yeah.
So, so now we're approaching heat wave. That's why we say when it rains, don't complain when it rains because you're going to need that rain. And I'm glad that we were able to get that rain. But now we have a heat advisory coming up for today.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say hello to Mary out there. She's watching us right there on YouTube.
Morning,
Uh,
Mary.
I'm trying to get the people who normally watch us on Facebook to get along. I'm rebooting. I'm doing everything technically to see what we can get back. It may not even be our problem. It could be a Facebook problem because they have their problems too. But the show goes on, and here we are. And here we are in the month of June. We're in the second week of June. And this is our second show in the month of June. So we want to welcome everybody aboard with us. Um, as you already know, Brian, we are celebrating, and we do each month something that goes on. And this month is National Portuguese Heritage Month. So we want to say hello to our friends from Portugal. Even if you're living in Portugal, we're broadcasting there, or you're an American here from Portugal, and you speak Portuguese, and we want to celebrate with you guys. If you guys are having any community events or any fairs that are going on, we would love to hear about that so we can celebrate along with you. Also, it's a Caribbean American Heritage Month as well. It's the same deal. We're broadcasting in the Caribbean, and those people who live here in the United States from the Caribbean, we could do the same thing. If you have any activities going on this weekend, let's talk about it. And then we'll promote all of that for you. Also, it's African American Music Month. What's your favorite kind of African American music? That's what you want to talk about. Of course, there's a lot of it. There's a
Yeah,
lot of it, and
a lot.
there's a lot to choose from. We'll talk about that too. National Soul Food Month. What's your favorite soul food? Your soul food dish. There you go. And then we have Pride Month, the LGBT Pride Month. That's happening too. I don't know. I haven't heard about it yet, but usually they have a parade on Fifth Avenue, but I haven't heard any announcements on that. But whether or not they're going to have one, but they're celebrating for the whole month. And also, it's National DJ Month. All of my friends in the radio industry and even the club DJs as well, happy DJ month to all of you guys out there. Uh, and what a career to pick if that's what you're into. But we're celebrating that all month long. And here's something that I want to do here in New York. You're not in New York, Brian, but in New York, this
Mhm.
coming weekend, it's going to be a festive weekend. Uh, on the side of the ones I just mentioned. But up in Harlem, they're having a Harlem Fair up there. I think it's the 116th Street Fair. I think it's the 116th Street Fair. They're having that on Saturday. And on Sunday, we have the annual Puerto Rican Day Parade. A lot of things are happening this week here in New York, this weekend in New York. So
Yes,
everybody,
that's usually. I believe that's usually the Puerto Rican Day Parade is usually it's June. Yeah, it's usually that
yeah,
first or second week. Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
And it's usually, it's always the month. I always remember that. It's always the week before before the holiday, before Father's Day weekend.
Hmm.
I always
Right.
know that. I always remember that. But that's what we're celebrating. And I don't know if you ever been to the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
One time, I've been there one time. I was just in the neighborhood, in Manhattan, and
Hmm.
I was just yeah. It's a very nice, colorful, and with our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, they are very prideful people and are very
Yeah,
affectionate too, especially the women. The women are very affectionate. You do not, if you're a man or any kind of male or ethnic group, if you're dating a female Puerto Rican, you better make sure that you do not mess with their feelings because they're very attachable to you. Once they fall in love, they fall in love. So you got to be very careful, you
yeah.
know,
And jealous.
and jealous. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. When they start talking poppy, you better you better get right. So
But
also we also want to
they're very loyal, though. Very loyal women.
yes, we also want to acknowledge um 58 years, let me see, 52 years ago. Am I saying it right? What's this is the 26th, 48 years ago. 48 years ago on this very day, our grandmother passed away. She left us June 12th, and today is the day that she went home to be with the good Lord. And I just want to acknowledge that. Just may she continue to rest in peace, rest in God's arms. Just want to
Mhm.
throw that out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things to look forward to in this month of June. And so there you go. So we have all of those things going on, and we talk about music. One of the things I want to linger on about the music, especially the African American Music Month. What do you have a favorite
Favorite
uh,
what?
as far as African American music? A favorite? I guess the word they use is genre, or genre. That's the name of kind of that
No,
kind of music.
no,
Any
don't.
like maybe gospel, jazz. What's your favorite? You have
Well,
any?
well, definitely. Okay, gospel is number one for me. I love gospel music. I love R&B, and I love I love all types of music. To be honest with you, but usually gospel and R&B, it's definitely my favorite, top two. And everything, my stations, whether I'm in my car or anywhere on my phone, those are the two types of music that I really love. I can listen to a little jazz. I can listen to, um, all types of jazz. There's it's not just the regular jazz, but there's also other jazz. We call them watercolors. That very smooth, easygoing jazz and everything. As you
Yeah,
see, um, in my man cave, I have all types of music and entertainment as well. Music is something I adapt to really embrace later on in life. Always as a kid, um, but the Motown era for me, the 70s with the disco era, that's when everybody was in the club. I never saw so many ethnic groups of people in one club, and thanks to Saturday Night Fever, because that was the kickoff right there and everything. And
yeah.
yeah, so that's what I love. Also we forgot to mention too, thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Juneteenth is also approaching as well too. Juneteenth.
I
Yeah.
I decided we're going to do the show that day. That's next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, you could. Yeah. I'll leave it up to you to whether or not you want to come in and do the show or not. But I'm
What day
definitely
is that one? That's on Juneteenth.
that's on
Is
that's on a Friday. I believe
Friday.
that's is that Friday. And let me check for sure. If I don't have my calendar with me, but I believe. Let me see. I have always have one of these on hand. So I will look there
Juneteenth
and
is on the 19th. Yes, it's on a
19.
Friday.
It's a Friday, right? So
Yes.
it's a Friday.
Right.
And so I'm going to do the show that next week. You know,
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you know if you want to take the day off or whatever, you can. But I decided I was going to do the show. But
Juneteenth, and 2 days later is Father's Day too, as well
yeah,
too.
that's right.
Busy
That's
month
right.
in June.
Yeah,
Busy month.
this is a busy month in June. Yeah, so I'm going to do the show next week, and you let me know whether or not think about it. Let me know if you want to jump aboard that day. Anyway, we've got so many things happening today. Um, And I want you guys to know that if you're watching us, wherever you're watching us, if you want to join in the conversation, please feel free to do it because we would love to address you. Now, a lot of people, when they come in, Brian, they don't want to join in the conversation, especially if they're new because they want to make sense of it. And I understand that. A lot of people do that, and I understand that. But those of you who would like to join in conversation, give us a little weather in your area. Let us know what the weather's like in your area. Okay, so we could kind of compare notes with the weather here, where I am, the weather where Brian is, and all over the place, because all of us don't carry the same weather. Now, I know you were telling me it's very warm where you are. It's soupy where you are, right?
It's still morning, so even though it's like 86, 87 degrees now, um the sun is not on the side where you could feel the heat. As soon as you go outside, you could feel that it's very warm. But
Mm-hmm.
between the hours of 12 noon to 5 or 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's when you're going to get that raw heat,
Yeah.
So it's like being out in Vegas and everything.
Yeah, I tell me about it. Yesterday, we had it was really humid here in New York, and when it gets humid in New York, it gets humid. It gets hot because we're surrounded by water anyway. So the humidity and the water surrounding the areas, it gets very warm. And even when I was on my way to do the show last night, Talk Back Live. I must have got back about what 7. I must have got here about 7 o'clock, or going on 7 o'clock. It was still intense heat out there at that hour. Usually, it's supposed to cool down, as the hour, the evening gets, newer. But it was dripping. I was dripping wet. I felt like a melted candle. And
Wow.
well, look, let me tell you about the weather. Again, I'll give you my weather forecast. So this way you get an idea to know. But again, if the rest of you who want to get involved in conversation, please feel free. We would love you to do that and give us your weather forecast. We would love to hear about that. Now, where we're standing right now, temperature wise, it's still warm. It's still warm. It's 79 as we speak right now. 79 degrees here in New York right now. And it's going to go up. It's going to go up. So let me tell you all about it. All right. Make no mistake about it. So you guys get prepared right now because here in New York, you're going to have partial cloudiness, as they put it. So that's the same thing as partly cloudy. Partly cloudy early with scattered showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. And storms may contain strong gusty winds. We'll have a high around 95 degrees. Winds will be north or west northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. The chance of rain will be 60%. And for tonight, if you're going out, we're going to have a stray shower and thunderstorms possible early, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Otherwise, we'll have a low 70 degrees and winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And Saturday, now this is good. You're going to love this one. It's going to be sunny skies all day long, not a cloud in the sky. We'll have a high 90 degrees. Winds will be west northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, if you're going out on the town, few clouds from time to time, but there's no rain in the forecast. That's good. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap up our weekend for Sunday, you're going to stay indoors if you're not going to go to church, or if you're going to go to church, you're going to come back home and stay in the rest of the day. And you should, because it's going to be partly cloudy skies during the morning hours, and will give way to cloudy skies and rain in the afternoon. So we'll have a high around 87 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 60%. And treating that current temperature here in New York is 79 degrees. Now, how's that for a weekend of weather? The best day is Saturday for us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, you can't complain. I mean, it is June. This is June. Even in fact, even summer has not officially started. That's sometime next weekend. The 20th or the 21st is usually when the new season officially begins. But we're still in the spring. But
Yeah.
we're getting some vicious heat right now here.
Yeah.
Now, I think along the East Coast and even down here in the South. So
Well, you know something. I'm a summertime kind of a person. I don't mind the hot weather, uh, and I never complain about it. A lot of people say, it's just too hot for me, or it's just too cold. I'll take it any day, and I'll take
mhm.
it this weekend. What's happening in the world of sports? Oh, by the way, before you go on, I just want to say while Brian is doing the sports, we're still working on this problem with Facebook, and we're still having a problem getting on. But Brian, what's happening
Yes,
in
I can't even log in on Facebook, so I think something is wrong right now because I can't.
Oh,
It
you're
just
having a problem too?
yeah, I can't even log into my own profile picture. So
Wow. See,
yeah,
that's the same thing here.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay. We'll see what happens. I'll keep trying.
Yes.
In sports.
Okay. Well, listen, lots to talk about here. You know, you people out there been following the NBA. It's been a terrific NBA finals for the people that live in New York. That's so much for the people in San Antonio, Texas. They are not taking this very well. They could easily been winning 3 games to 1 or swept the series against the Knicks and vice versa. But you know, as Charles Barkley and some of the other people are saying that the San Antonio Spurs are making stupid plays. They're stupid organization. I don't know if I would go that far to say, but they're not they're not playing well at all. They are down 3 games to 1 the Spurs, but the Knicks. I mean, if you're a Knicks fan and live in the New York area, you should be on cloud nine. You're just 48 minutes away from winning your first championship in 53 years. All the stars were out there. Um, Before we get to that, I want to do a follow-up story about Terry Rozier pleaded not guilty Wednesday to new charges of sports bribery and honest services wire fraud conspiracy linked to a alleged scheme of different things, betting platforms, gambling, you name it. As of right now, um, the NBA player agreed to a $100,000 bribe. This is what they said in order to manipulate his performance in a game, which means tanking, whether he do the game or did whatever he needed to do. Performance in the game while with the Charlotte Hornets back in 2023. A judge in New York set a trial date for February 8th, 2027. My goodness, we're in June. This is June 12th, and it means that he has to wait until February 8th of 2027 for his trial. This means that he can't get in contact with anybody. He can't play basketball. So here it is. His career is at a standstill. Now he renewed his request for a judge to modify the conditions of his bail that prevents him from having any contact with former team or NBA prosecutors. Prosecutors say that the Hornets and the NBA are victims of Rozier crime, and that the league wants to order to remain in a place. Rozier attorney says that the no contract order could prevent him from having an opportunity to play with other teams. That's incredible. So, but back to the Knicks. This is a long time coming. It was a star-studded affair. When I tell you a star-studded affair, You had so many stars out there. Oh my goodness, you had John McEnroe. You had Ben Stiller, uh, Jerry Steinfeld, Tracy Morgan, Fat Joe, rappers and everything. But of course, the number one fan, Nick fan, Spike Lee. Of course, he was there. Even what's her name? What's the lady that's engaged to the football player? Taylor Swift was there. So it's been a star-studded affair. You think that L.A. Lakers out, in L.A. have all these hair fans, but they have them here big time in New York and everything. So the phrase "Go New York, go New York, go New York." You wear your orange and blue. The Empire State Building was lit up, orange and blue. On a negative note, President of the United States was on hand for Game 3. That was on Monday. Yeah, I got to talk about it. He fell asleep again, along with James Dolan, who's the principal owner of the New York Knicks. And we call him, he calls Joe Biden Sleepy Joe, or I call him Sleepy Trumpy. If you up all night, midnight, 1 a.m., on Instagram and Twitter, whatever, and you don't go to sleep. How do you expect to wake up in the morning and do your day job, and you up in the middle of the night doing all of that? But this is what it is. Vince McMahon and the WWE senior leaders have reached a last-minute settlement with shareholders to resolve a class action lawsuit that would have challenged the WWE and the UFC merger. The settlement prevents the potential of documents pertaining to McEnroe on a sexual assault allegation and hush money scandals being made public. The trial, which suggested that McMahon manipulated and steered WWE into a favorable deal with an Endeavor in order to secure control of the company, was supposed to start on Monday, but it has now been canceled after the parties reached an agreement in principle. That means somebody was about to sing. The Canaries were coming out to sing. So now they want to reach this here agreement now. If the trial would have proceeded as planned, the discovery process would likely have been the shareholders' request that McMahon turn over all documents related to the sexual misconduct allegations, along with payments made to his women accusers. The documents would have reflected McMahon's state of mind at the time of the merger. Details regarding that settlement was not readily available. The lawsuit from the WWE shareholders was first filed following the merger in 2023, which saw McMahon return to power after his resignation in 2022. When the allegations of sexual misconduct initially surfaced, McMahon eventually resigned from the board in January of 2024 after a former WWE employee, Janet Grant, alleged that McMahon had trafficked and abused her. Wow. Send her out there to the wolves and abusing her. I didn't say what kind of abuse. I don't know if it was physically or it was mentally. Even though the Delaware lawsuit is now settled, the lawsuit filed by Grant against McMahon is still ongoing. So, this thing is not going to end no time soon. There's a lot at stake. On this day, June 12th, 1928, Lou Gehrig collected 14 total bases, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. If you add them up, it was 2 grand slams and 2 triples that equal 14. 1950, retired Connie Mack is named honorary manager at the All-Star Game manager after 48 years of managing the Philadelphia A's. That's a long time to hold on to a job. 1957, Stan the Man Musial plays his 823rd game, a new nationally consecutive game streak. 1970, Doc Ellis. Remember Doc Ellis? No hit the San Diego Padres 2-0, but later claims to be under the influence of LSD at the time. Yeah, Doc Ellis was one of those players that would let you know, yeah, I smoked some drugs, and I went out there and pitched, and for whatever reason, it made him a better player, but it was illegal. So, and it's still illegal. In 1975, Hank Aaron hits his first home run in Milwaukee since 1965 as his new team. 1981, Major League players began a 50-day strike. That was their third career strike. 1991, Michael Jordan, first finals appearances, named finals MVP, defeated the LA Lakers 4-1 and was named finals MVP. 19, and that's one of the videotapes I got was game 1 of that year, 1991. I'm trying to convert that from VHS to a flash drive. So I have a huge project this summer. 1997, Cincinnati Reds CEO Marge Schott, who was a racist, yes, I said it, no longer was using the day-to-day operation, making a slur remarks to working women and Asians, and was giving praise to Adolf Hitler, the former dictator of Germany. 2002, Shaquille O'Neal named Finals MVP with a 4-game sweep over the New Jersey Nets. That was his third consecutive Finals MVP. 2017, Kevin Durant named Finals MVP when Golden State defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-1. And only one happy birthday. Happy birthday to, yes, and it counts, marvelous Marv Albert, sportscaster. Born in New York City, New York, Marv Albert was the voice of, when I was growing up, was the voice of every sport. It was amazing how he used to work at Madison Square Garden again. Back in those days when he was doing the play-by-play in the 70s, in the 80s, he would call a game. The game usually ends around roughly around 9:30 on 34th Street. And then I don't know how he get to Rockefeller Center in time to do the sports broadcast on the 11 o'clock news. But Marv Albert was a fixture in New York sports and the voice of about everything. So we're going to conclude today with our Pride Month. I was doing a history for 2 weeks. Last week it was Elton John. Today I'm going to do an activist, person who was big on the political move. Bayard Rustin, born March 17th, 1912, was American political activist and prominent leader in social movements for civil rights, socialism, nonviolence, and gay rights. Rustin was a principal organizer of the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963. After completing an activist training program conducted by the American Friends Services Committee, Rustin moved to Harlem in 1937 and began studying City College of New York, where he became involved in efforts to defend and free the Scottsboro Boys. Remember those? That was back in 1941, I believe it was. 9 young Black Alabama men accused of raping 2 white women. He was part of the Youth Commitment League from 1936 to 1941. Rustin was a key organizer, like I just mentioned a little while ago. He was a key, integral part of the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs, Freedom, and was one of Martin Luther King Jr.'s closest advisors, especially on techniques of nonviolent resistance. Rustin was extremely active in the Congress of Racial Equality, known as CORE, and helped to create the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Early in his career, he was arrested for moral cause, which led to his outing to the public. However, once outed, Rustin was completely open about his sexuality and was never ashamed. Criticism and discrimination over his sexuality led Rustin to have a more background role in the civil rights movement. He never wanted to his sexuality to have a negative effect on the movement, which is often the reason that Rustin efforts were not openly known, because in those days they did not allow that. They did not like that, and to many, even today, there's still things like that that still occur that where America will not embrace that kind of thing when it comes to same-sex relationships and same-sex marriages. Rustin was a gay man, and due to his criticism of his sexuality, usually advised other civil rights leaders, like I said, like Martin Luther King, from behind the scenes. During the 1980s, he became a public advocate on behalf of gay causes, speaking at events as an activist and a supporter of human rights. From 1965 to 1979, Rustin served as the head of the A. Philip Randolph Institute, the AFL-CIO, African American Constituency Group, serving alongside A. Philip Rudolph. Like I said, his passing in 1979, Rustin worked to integrate unions and promote unions among African Americans. Unions are very important. They're trying to get rid of unions. I'm telling you, I've been blessed to be in the union and for my career in New York City. Saved my job. I should have been fired for many occasions and everything. And, just doing dumb things and not being smart. Now, Rustin served as several missions of Vietnam, Cambodia, and Haiti during the 1970s and 80s. In the 1980s, he became a part of the LGBTQ plus movement and an advocate for AIDS education. In 1986, testimony on behalf of New York State gay rights bill, Rustin stated that gay people are the new barometer for social change. He felt that injustice everywhere should not be tolerated and must be protested. He died August 24th, 1987, as a result of a perforated appendix. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports, and that's the history of these two past weeks of Elton John and Bayard Rustin.
Well, there you go. You have that, and that's what we're celebrating, that Pride Week. And I'm glad you brought that information along, particularly that particular issue, that information, that history that we didn't know about. Maybe some of us knew about it, but I didn't know about it. But I'm glad you brought it along with us. And you did Elton John last week, and it was all great. So we got a lot of things coming up. We're still celebrating the month of June, and thank you for that, Brian. And just in case the rest of you are just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and I'm with you until the hour of, we have a few minutes left. But we are here, and we would like you to tell your friends about it. And for those of the people who are trying to get us on YouTube, on Facebook, I should say, Facebook was still having a problem, and we're still having a problem. But here's the thing, Brian. While you were doing your sports, I kept going at it, and I think Facebook is kind of like getting in there because it kept buffering and buffering and buffering. I got on the broadcast channel so I could put it live, but that was loading up. So maybe they're getting back to whatever they're supposed to getting back. I don't know.
Probably a glitch in the system, It
could be. And then again, it could be my phone, because my phone wanted to, for me to, every once in a while, your phone has you to update on the system. And they asked me if I wanted to do that. Then I didn't want to do it just yet. That could be it. Maybe my Android has to be updated.
Mm-hmm.
What it is. That could be it. That's the only thing I could think of. But they pick a fine time to want to do it. And let's see. Let me tell you something. Right now, I am on Facebook as I see it right now. And let me see what happens. I'm going to try it right now and see. I'm on there where I can actually hit the button where it says when I get to the point where I hit the button where it says live, that's still loading up. But I can't get on Facebook now, as I couldn't before.
Right. Right.
Well, what can you do? What can you do? That's one of the things.
Yeah.
Technology throws you a curveball every now and then.
Unbelievable.
But anyway, Brian, thanks for that. And Mary is still with us, and again, she's still with us on YouTube. And for the people who are trying to get us on Facebook, well, maybe another time. Come over to this side for right now. Come over to YouTube right now.
Come on. It doesn't take that long to log in. Just come on in.
And then we can see what happens. You're getting the same show, whether you're watching on Facebook or well, whatever. Anyway, thank you. Again, those of you who want to join in the conversation, give us your weather forecast. Let us know what it's like in your area. This way we could kind of compare notes on what's happening with the weather over there as opposed to the weather over here. Okay, we look forward to that. Ella Langsley hot streak shows no signs of slowing down. Fresh off a career-defying year, the country singer has now become the second most streamed country artist in the world. Langley has just surpassed 30 million listeners on Spotify, and there's only one country artist in the world that has more listeners. That would be Morgan Wallen. A show of star power that was no doubt planned before Langley reached this milestone is the fact that she's opening selected dates for Wallen on his Still the Problem tour. That's the name of the tour, Still the Problem tour. Having two biggest streaming stars in country music sharing a stage and promoting a duet at the same time is a kind of moment that almost never happens. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey has set a new record that will likely boost its box office numbers. The action adventure epic is one of the 2026 biggest release, with the anticipation continuing to grow ahead of its theatrical release. The Odyssey has reportedly sold the highest first day advance ticket sales at AMC. And this is the biggest sale of the theater chain in the last 4 years for a major studio movie. Netflix has expanded its partnership with the Russian animated kids comedy series Masha and the Bear. Additional content from the franchise is now slated to arrive on the platform. And the deal covers both upcoming and existing seasons for the long-running series. The agreement gives the streamer access to seasons 8 and 9. It is also extended to its right to the earlier season of the show and its association spinoffs across the wide range of international market. Music legends Simple Minds and Chaka Khan are confirmed as the headliners for the BBC Radio 2 In the Park set to begin a star-studded lineup on the Stirring this September. The full lineup for the 3-day Scottish Festival was revealed on Tuesday morning. Chaka Khan will headline Saturday night with a Scottish rock icon Simple Minds topping the bill on Sunday for their sole UK performance this year. French singer and actor Patrick Bruel is in police custody over allegations by at least 13 women of rape, sexual assault. And Bruel, who has been in police custody since Monday, denies the allegations, and the singer becomes the major star across the French-speaking world in the 1980s and the 1990s with a string of hit songs that became a part of the French popular culture. And he has also appeared in more than 40 film and television productions. Birthdays today. And let me say this to you, that all the birthdays that I'm reading off about the people on this day people who are no longer with us. But let me read them off to you. Birthdays today is jazz singer Jerry Allan, who's 69. Soul singer Lynn Collins, who performed with James Brown, would have been 78. Singer Len Barry would have been 84. Fusion jazz artist Chick Corea would have been 85. Comic actor Jim Nabors, who also played on Gomer Pyle, would have been 96. Jewish victim Anne Frank from the Diary of Anne Frank would have been 97. And singer Vic DeBone would have been 98. Singer George H.W. Bush would have been 102. And CEO Chase Manhattan Bank, as they called it back in those days, David Rockefeller would have been 111 years old. So we want to say happy birthday to all of them. Happy birthday. They're no longer around with us, but they left us such a wonderful legacy. So for those of you who are celebrating a birthday and you would like to us to get on the air and talk about it, please feel free. All right. And get in touch with us. Our email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. Frank Allan. Allan is spelled Allan. Allan. Prod is Prod. As Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or you can call us at 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I have movies for you that I just want to relay to you for the benefit of people who would like to get involved in watching these movies. They're classics, Return to Classic Movies. I go into the vault each week and bring out the best movies I can find for your weekend to add on to your bucket list on what to watch. Some of you are having a weekend that you may want to catch up on watching movies that you haven't seen in a long time. So I'm going to add on to it. The first one is called The First Deadly Sin from 1980. This was Frank Sinatra's last movie, along with Faye Dunaway and James Whitmore. You can see it at Turner Classic Movies, and that's Saturday at 4 a.m. Eastern. So that's early in the morning. Sex and the Single Girl, 1964. Tony Curtis, Natalie Wood, and Henry Fonda. Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Then you have On the Town from 1949 with Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, and Jules Munshin. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. And finally, another classic. This is a black and white from 1960 called The Apartment. It's a comedy with Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred McMurray. Turner Classic Movies at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you would like to see all of these movies, check it out. And go to Turner Classic Movies if you still have your cable box and look at what happens there and see if there are more movies that you would like to see that you haven't seen in a long time. And because I didn't mention them, these are my picks of the week, these four that I mentioned. But you can check out more Turner Classic Movie classics through that. And some of the movies, if you can't watch them in real time, you could always, if you have your cable box, and some of you still do, you could always record it and watch it later on. So let me give you these movies one more time. The First Deadly Sin, Frank Sinatra, Faye Dunaway, and James Whitmore. Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 4 a.m. Eastern. Sex and the Single Girl with Tony Curtis, Natalie Wood, and Henry Fonda. That's Turner Classic Movies at Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern. On the Town with Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, and Jules Munshin as Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. And The Apartment with Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, and Fred McMurray as Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope you get a chance to watch these movies. They're a gas. They're groovy, like we used to say.
Oh, it's one of the best channels that you could even come up with. Turner Classic Movies. If you like the old movies, like I do, the black and white movies, even though technology is not what it was back then, but you could see how technology grew. But it's nothing like sometimes just watching an old black and white western or a thriller or a gangster.
Yep.
You know, it's just great. It's just great.
Yeah.
I'm into the nostalgia.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing this summer long project of converting old tapes, VHS tapes, and mini DV tapes. You know, I still got a lot to do, but I got it finally underway, and it's coming to reality that I'm able to save them all in time. Just got to get some more parts and everything. But right now, the number one project is the VHS. That's what I'm doing now. I work on the DVDs and the mini DV tapes. I want to address Mary. Mary, you're right about the unions. They've been trying to get rid of the unions for decades. And down here in the South, let me tell you, this is why the southern states is for a retirement home, because there's no protection. The teachers, North Carolina is one of the worst paying jobs for as a teacher. They had a big rally back in Raleigh a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how well it did, but thank God I'm in a position where I shouldn't have to worry that. But it's not fair to teachers, not only here in North Carolina, but nationwide. Teachers give their life. They work hard. They work so hard to teach these kids, and sometimes these kids are kids, and the parents are not helping because the parents are fighting with the teachers. The administration are arguing with the teachers, so the teachers are caught right in the middle, and they're not able to get a fair break. That's why in the school that I work at, you see a lot of one and dones. These young teachers, they come in right out of college, and they go through 1 year, and you don't see them more anymore after this. 16 teachers, Mary, and everybody out there listening, 16 teachers at my school that I work at are either going back to their original home or they just finding other jobs. And you got people living there originally from California, Oklahoma, all over, but they're going back home because here in North Carolina, in South Carolina, it's no better. It's a little bit better, but it's no better. So it's really sad and everything. So that's what I wanted to say, Mary.
And speaking of unions, you were talking about unions. You could be loved being in a union, and you could be hated being a union.
That's right.
I'm only going to say brief on this because I remember in my union, this was years ago. I was a shop steward, and at one of the radio stations that I worked, I was the union shop steward. Not that I wanted that position. I was elected to do that, and
Yes,
I was going to decline. But I said, "Well, why me?" I said, "Well, why me?" And one of the guys said, "Because you're the only one with big balls."
That's right. And it takes somebody like that, a shop steward. That's right.
Yeah. And so I took a crack at it, and I did have my problems. I had one girl that was fired from the job with no notice, because they got to give you 3 notices. You got to get 3 notifications, 3 warnings before they could fire you. And they got to stand up, because you just can't fire a person just for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
Unions are strong. They're not gonna allow that. So I went in there. I went into the office and told the general manager, who hated my guts anyway because I was the union rep. And I told him, I said, "I want this girl back on the job in the morning. Otherwise, I am going to take it to the union." And my union rep, I went back to him and told him, and he said, "Well, you know something, that's the way it is." I said, "No, that's not the way it is." And I pull out my contract and my bylaws, and I said, this is the contract, here are my bylaws, this is what it says. All right. And I showed him, I said, "If this girl is not back on the job in the morning, we're going to arbitration." They didn't want to hear that. So it cleared it all up. So that's why I always urge my brothers and sisters in unions. That's what we refer to them. They're brothers and sisters. It's a fraternity. And to always carry your bylaws and your union card and your contract with you wherever you go. So anybody gives you any crap, you could always pull it out and say, "Here's the information." That's it.
That's right, Mary. Yep. That's right. That's right.
Can be hated. That's it.
And
well, you may be pleased to know, just to switch gears, you may be pleased. Well, I'm pleased to know anyway. But I received my passport in the mail just last Saturday.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say that my photo is the only photo on that passport. I am happy.
You supposed to have the president's picture on
Oh,
there.
no,
You
no,
might
no,
get
no,
arrested
no.
for that.
And I don't have to worry about it for 10 years. For 10 years. But then he's not going to be the president in 10 years.
That's right.
So I'm happy to say that. And speaking of that guy, people are still talking about the game that he attended, the third game. People are still talking about that, even after it's all over and done.
Sleepy Trumpy.
Yeah, people are still talking about it. They said he shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been there. Now, a lot of people say, hey, you know something, he has the right. And you know something, they're right. He has the right to be there. He has the right for relaxation. But in his circumstance, instead of going to games, he should be in the White House figuring out how we're going to end this war, figuring out how we're going to make sure that people be able to buy food at lower prices, figuring out how we're going to work on these on the healthcare situation.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted to make the game about him.
Nah, he. I know people blame him for the Knicks loss. Knicks lost the game because they didn't play well, and San Antonio had a very good game plan. So let's give credit to the Spurs for game 3. We give too much credit to the president, to Donald Trump. We give too much credit to him because he thinks now, by the more you feed into him thinking that he jinxed the Knicks, the more powerful he think he is now. He's probably saying, wow, I have that kind of effect on people. Well, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take the credit. I'm the reason why the Knicks lost. Don't it's like giving Satan his props. It's like giving Satan his due when he had nothing to do with it. Sometimes when we do when things like that fall upon us, we gotta look at ourselves and say, this is my doing. Don't give the devil all that credit. Don't give Donald Trump all that credit. They very much similar. I don't want to call him Satan and everything, but he has those satanic ways about him and everything. I don't want to accuse anybody for being Satan because that's not my place. But man, listen, let him
Well,
be.
I one day want to wake up in the morning and hear people say, something, I really had it with this guy, the MAGA people. But, I'm dreaming right now. But so I'm going to wake up because that's not going to happen. But it would be nice if they finally get together and say, hey, something, I feel the pain that everybody else is feeling. And I'm dumping this guy, just like some of the people that you hear that are in media, that in the public eye, like Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, and a host of other few who were on the MAGA train, or probably still on the MAGA train. They just
Scott
want
Jennings, yeah.
yeah, they're still on the MAGA train, and they pretend, well, I'm breaking away from this guy. That's why I don't trust them. I mean, it's nice that they came out and finally saw the light, you know, uh, but I still don't trust them, and I still don't feel any different about them than I felt before. It's nice that they're kind of seeing the light, but that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Mm.
And then the other funny story is when Meet the Press was on last Sunday,
Oh,
and he walked off the set on that. That was another thing. That
he's just crazy and stepped on the microphone too. I don't know if
that
you
was
noticed that.
Michael.
That's cruel. That is
Yeah,
really cruel. But give
yeah,
credit to the journalism reporter. She
yeah,
she held her ground. She stood her ground, and she
yeah,
still conducted the interview how a journalist should do. She didn't
yeah.
give in. She didn't back down. She said all she said was show the evidence. Where is the evidence?
That was
California is known to have voting count. It takes them a week, days or a week to get the final count. It's been like this for years. And he knows this. The
yeah,
Republican knows this too. So
yeah.
why this is all a scheme for the midterm. He's
Oh,
plotting.
man,
When I tell you, he's plotting.
that was Christian Welker. That's her
Yes.
name, and
She
he's
comes
pissed
in.
off.
She comes on right before Morning Joe.
Right. He was pissed off. He was pissed off because she was smart and she wanted the answers and she wouldn't back down.
Hmm.
And to top it all off, she's a woman of color.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And she's a woman.
yeah, and she's a
Donald
woman.
Trump doesn't respect women.
No, he doesn't even respect his wife.
No, he don't. He don't.
Well, that's going to be it for today, Brian. We're going to catch you back here on next week on the Talk Back Live. Anyway, coffee hour. That's up to you. I'll be here, and we look forward to for the rest of you guys to be here as well. The Talk Back Live will be here. That's next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Brian Camp, my co-host, will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports as well. And then, of course, next week, the coffee hour at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we look forward to seeing you. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great weekend. And hang in there, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.